Hey everyone, how you doing? It's Mr. Outlaw, and we're back with another episode reviewing clones. And today we're going to review the Tugboat RDA clone from fasttech.com. So let's get into it. The Tugboat version 2 RDA clone. I got this from fasttech.com. I paid $8.96, and I have to tell you, I'm loving it. It's really a great device, especially for the price. Now, I know there are some places here in the United States that you can pick it up if you don't want to wait for shipping from Fasttech. I got mine from Fasttech. I've had no issues with them. Generally, my orders take between 10 and 14 days to get them. And like I've said before, the key to Fasttech is make sure you order something that's in stock. Don't order something that says, ships in 5 to 7 days. And since this video series is all about buying clones, fasttech.com is a great place that you can get your clone devices at a very reasonable price if you don't mind waiting for the shipping time. So I'm currently running this at 30 joules on my SX Mini. I've got it set at 420 degrees. Gives a lot of vapor, but for me, the most important thing is it gives a lot of flavor. I'm really enjoying this, especially on my temperature control devices, because number one, I like all my RDAs on temperature control because I never get a dry hit. I don't have to worry about, getting a burnt hit or a scratchy hit or anything like that. But this gives me a lot of flavor. I'm currently vaping some homemade lemon meringue pie. I used HIC's recipe. I'll leave a link for that down in the description. He's phenomenal with flavors, and it's just incredible. I can taste everything. I can taste the graham cracker, the meringue, the lemon, everything in here. I get it all using this RDA. If you're looking for a good flavor RDA, this is a great flavor RDA. So let's talk a little bit about it. This is a 22 millimeter device. Again, this is the version 2 Tugboat clone. It is a stainless steel 510 drip tip. It is made with stainless steel. It has 4 air holes, 2 on each side, adjustable air hole. You can run it in single coil or dual coil, which I really enjoy because I generally do run single coil mode with temperature control. It has a tri-post design with a center copper pin. Not too keen on that, but I'll show you why in the up close and personal. Like I said, 22 millimeter device, and it is 29.5 millimeters without the drip tip attached. Let's get down into the up close and personal, take a little bit more detailed look at it, and then we'll come back and finish this up. Okay, so this is the box that my Tugboat came in. It says Tugboat version 2 black. Again, I got this from fasttech.com, $8.96. And I do want to state, I am in no way affiliated with Fasttech. I don't have an affiliation code or anything with them. I simply like to make videos and show different clones that are out there to help people who maybe can't afford to get the authentics like myself. Your packaging may be different if you don't get it from Fasttech. So we'll open up the box here. We have a little bag of goodies here. A little screwdriver, 2 coils, and some wick, but there are no O-rings or screws. They didn't give me any spare O-rings or screws, so that's a little disappointing, but for, $8.96, I can't complain too much. Then we have our Tugboat right here, and we've got the American flag on one side, and we have Tugboat on the other. It came very clean, no scratches. I've been using this for a few weeks now. It's still very clean, and the finish has been really holding up, and I am very rough on my devices. So we have a 510 drip tip up here with the Tugboat logo, a serial number that means absolutely nothing because it's a clone, double O-rings. You have a 510 drip tip adapter here, and I have found that all of my drip tips fit very well, but although I normally don't like wider mouth drip tips, this one I'm finding very, very comfortable. Now it comes apart in several pieces. We'll take this bottom piece off here, and I have coils on here. I'm not taking these coils off because these are nickel coils. It took me a while to build them the way I like them, and I don't want to screw them up. So I apologize for not having a clean, plain deck, but I'm really enjoying these coils, and I don't want to mess them up. So we take apart our 510 drip tip. We have up here, we have our airflow control, we have our body. Okay, so let's look at the bottom deck first. And again, I apologize for having coils on here and not showing you the deck without them, but These are nickel coils. It took me a while to build them and have them the way I want. I'm running a vertical coil, which is something I really like about this deck. It's got a lot of space, and I can run it horizontal, I can run it vertical. I'm really enjoying a vertical coil on this. So again, I apologize for having coils on there, but I didn't want to mess them up. We have a 3-post design. We have a positive in the middle, 2 negatives. The negative posts are not milled into the deck, and when I got it, one of mine was slightly loose. I had to twist it to get it to the right way, but once I did, I haven't had any issues. We do have little holes down there on the bottom to put our leads in, and we also have screws up on the top. And you can see here, when I actually build my vertical coil, I put the negative coils in through the hole on the bottom, and then I trap my positive under the head of the screw. If I'm building a horizontal coil, I always just trap everything under the head of the screw. I don't like using post holes. So we have one single hole, single O-ring down here on the bottom. I've had no issues with it. It gives me a good resistance. I can turn everything, but it doesn't come off easily. Down on the bottom, we have a copper 510 pin. And also, we do have a copper center post. Now, I'm not super happy with this, and if I can get a close-up on here, I don't know if I'm going to be able to get it on the camera, but you can see that my center post is discoloring from my e-juice. So it's discoloring a little bit. I would prefer that be stainless steel. So that, to me, is a little bit of a con. I haven't had any issues with it, but I would prefer that to be stainless steel. And I'm thinking about if I can find a cheap center post, changing that out to a stainless steel one. So that's a little bit more up close again. I have nickel coils on here. Not the prettiest build, but they work. I think they came apart a little bit when I tried to pull out the wick, but I'm going to try to re-wick them and keep using it because I'm really, really happy with this build. Okay, so we'll take a little bit closer look at the body. We have here what says Tugboat, and then we have on the other side, we have our American flag. We have 2 sets of air holes. We have 2 on this side, and then we have 2 on the other side. Again, this is made out of stainless steel. This is the black version. I've been very happy with it. Haven't had any issues with it. None of the paint flaking off. Came very clean. No machine oil. Then we have our top cap here for our adjustable airflow. We have 3 sets of holes. We have 2 here, 2 on the other side directly across, and then we have 1 if we're going to run it in single coil mode. This has double O-rings on it. It's got a good restriction, but it's not overly restricted, and we simply put it on. If we're going to run it in single coil mode, you find the center set of holes, put it in, and then you can adjust your airflow. Now, one thing I have found with the black version, and I believe this is just going to be what your black version is, the inside of this is also black, so I can't see where my airflow is. You can see there, you really can't see it, and you have to kind of hold it up to the light this way, and can I see it? And, you know, so you can see it there. So I have an issue with that. Now, when it's in double coil mode, not quite as much of an issue because you can kind of see through. You can see when I line it up, you can kind of see through, like I have that white sheet down there. So that's not as big of an issue. But this is adjustable, and I get very, very good airflow. I like to use the vertical coil on this because I can line the coil right up between those 2 holes, and the air just surrounds the coil, and I get phenomenal flavor and vapor. Now, inside of here, you'll see they do have a conical shape inside there to help funnel that flavor up in, the vapor up in there. And it works very, very well. And again, just the perfect amount of restriction on my airflow control. And the same thing when I put this on here, it's just the perfect amount of restriction. It doesn't come off too easily, but I can easily take it off. But if I would grab it by my device won't fall off. You can see it's the perfect amount of restriction. So that's the up close and personal. Again, very, very happy with this. Let's take it up. I'll put some wick on this and we'll vape it. So that's the up close and personal for the Tugboat version 2 clone, and you can see it's a pretty well made device. I'm really enjoying it, especially at the price of $8.96. You can't beat that price for an RDA, especially when you're seeing, you know, authentic RDAs out there for $60, $80, $100, $120. $8.96, phenomenal price even for a clone. So let's take a vape here and then we'll talk about the pros and cons. Again, phenomenal flavor, really good vape production, and I actually have the airflow only on 1 hole on each side. If we open that all the way up, A little bit more vapor, a little bit less flavor, but not too bad. I still can taste all the different nuances of my flavor. So really, one of my favorite RDAs for flavor chasing, and especially on a temperature control device, because it is so easy to build on and has so many different ways you can build it. So really like that. So let's talk about the cons. My number one con is going to be that center post. I would prefer it to be stainless steel. I'm not a big fan of that copper center post. You can see on the up close and personal how it's changing colors. I would much rather it be stainless steel. I know some of you like the copper. I would rather it be stainless steel. So that's my first con. My next con, at least with the black version, I can't find the air holes. I really have to struggle and look, put my glasses on, put a light on, hold it up to the light to find, you know, my air holes. Do I have one open? Do I have two open? Is it set where I want to set? I'm not sure. I have a feeling that if you buy the other colors, it's easier to see, and this is an issue with the black one, so I would definitely not get another black one. I would prefer that with the black one, if I had it, that the inside airflow chamber piece was stainless steel, so there was like a different color so I can line it up and see it a little bit better. Subjective con, again, I would not buy another black one because I just can't find the air holes. But that's pretty much it for the cons. Oh, one other con would be, again, when I got it, one of the negative posts was loose. I had to like screw it down more. That's a concern. It would be much better if they were milled into the deck. But again, it's $8.96. So, you know, you can't complain too much about that. So let's take a vape here. We'll talk about the pros. Number one pro is going to be the flavor and vapor production. It gives me good vapor. I only have one air hole open right now, and I'm still getting really good vapor. But for me, it's the flavor. The flavor is just there. I can taste all of the nuances of my juice, and I really enjoy that. I like getting all those different flavors. Next pro is going to be pretty much everything else about it. It's built well. I got it. It was very clean. No real scratches on it, really hardly any machine oil, if any. I mean, I rinsed it once, scrubbed it a little bit. I was good to go. I didn't have any machine oil taste. I didn't find any, like, it wasn't drenched in or anything like that, so that's a good thing. I like the fact that I can put my own 510 drip tips in there, though I really am enjoying this one. Usually I don't like the wider bore drip tips, but I'm finding I really do like this one. It's just like the perfect size for me, but I like the fact that I can put my own drip tips in it. Next pro is going to be the cost. I mean, $8.96. You can't beat that cost. You know, it doesn't come with any spare parts, but for $9, what do you want? You know, you get a couple coils, you get a screwdriver, you get some wick. You know, if it breaks, throw it out and get another one. So it looks really good. I'm enjoying it. Definitely, you know, a good device to buy if you're looking for just like maybe a cheap RDA to run around with. So that is my video for today, guys. Hopefully it helped you out. Hopefully it helped you make a little bit more informed decision if you're considering purchasing the Tugboat version 2 clone. Please do me a favor, hit the like button down on the bottom. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. And until next time, happy vaping.